Oh man, so whatever this like newest update, whatever this newest update for Streamlabs was is just like literally the worst. All right, so y'all can hear me. I think y'all can hear Joe, right?
Hi.
All right, so we're gonna start this shit over again. So my dude, for the lads and lasses that like haven't ever heard the story, the fuck is a no good citizen?
NoGoodCitizen actually originated from my best friend's father, who, of course, like my best friend is of Spanish descent, and they're very traditional in their family life, in their work ethic, and NoGoodCitizens were what he would refer to my best friend's friends as, because if in his mind, if you're friends with someone, they should be bringing something of actual value to you, besides like the warm fuzzy type. I'm pretty sure they call this toxic masculinity or something.
Yeah,
which you're probably right. But anyway, so I think the solution for him was to just refer to all of us as no good citizens versus having to actually remember our names. So I was sitting and trying to decide on a tag one day, and I was like, I can't come up with anything. And I heard in my head, "Oh, what are you doing letting that no good citizen in here, man? We're trying to get work done today. Come on, tell him to get out. Get out. No good citizens today." And at that point, it stuck. And I just decided I was never going to change that. I live my life in fear that at some point or another, he will actually go through and try to come collect royalties off of me. Because it causes.
So what's gonna happen is you're gonna win like the NA regional finals, and you're gonna get that fat Red Bull sponsorship, and he's gonna like come through, being like, "Hey,
I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna disappear. That's what's gonna happen."
So that sounds about good. So we had our trial run of the podcast while everybody else just wondered what the hell was going on.
I had fun.
Where we talked about this little known character named Guile, and what you're telling me is that you played Guile because he was good. Are you just like a top tier chaser? Do you only play the top tiers?
Okay, all right. I gotta go ahead and debunk this. I don't just play Guile because he's good.
That's what you said, and then you said that about G. So it seems like you're just a top tier main.
No, I like Guile. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this or all the other Guile stuff that I have. So when I first started playing fighting games, for more than just hitting buttons. This is back before StreetFighter 4 even came out. When StreetFighter 2 HD Remix was very popular. That was actually when I started playing Guile. It's just by weird coincidence that every character that I pick ends up being good.
Coincidence.
I do like playing top tiers, but it also turns out that by sheer coincidence that every character that I always play is really good.
Sheer coincidence.
I mean, have you, just like being the cute person at the bar, people find you. It's just when you're cute and you're feeling it, you might go home with a top tier character, and it just keeps happening.
So have I just been unlucky with all? Well, no, I played Abigail in season 2. 3. Yeah, in season 2.
Yeah.
So.
Shh. Yeah. Don't say you've never been lucky.
Well,
character was a problem.
I play Spider-Man and Ghost Rider in Marvel Infinite.
That's a respectable team.
That James Chen plays that team.
James Chen plays Cammy in Super Turbo. What does he know?
So I'm just saying, you're saying I play a respectable team. I based it off of Mr. Chen. I mean, actually, wait. I can't actually. Now that I think about it, I've played a lot of top tiers in my life. I play Mitsurugi.
Here it comes.
I play Armor King. All right, it might be that all of the shade I was giving Joe just now. It might
projecting a little bit.
I mean, in fairness, like when you're one of the filthy casuals like myself that doesn't play competitive, you don't know that your character is top tier until like you look at a top 8 result and you see your character like 4 times.
I'm looking at every casual Karen player on the face of this planet right now.
I mean, I played Flash in Injustice. He's not that great.
I only played Injustice 2. My time with NRS games has been. I think there's a divide between people who play NRS games now. I think the amount of people who were, just hanging out with their friends in the 90s and playing MK2 and MK3 with each other.
Some of us had to sneak it in from our parents, not knowing.
Not many of us are playing NRS games now. I know there's a lot of people that do, but I still think it's kind of like Injustice and MKX and MK11 is still kind of like new school. It doesn't feel like the stuff I grew up with at all.
I mean, you know what? I didn't play Injustice 1. I definitely played Injustice 2 because by the time 2 came out, I was like, oh, it's not just another crappy comic book fighter. Because a lot of them are terrible.
I played Black Canary because she was cute.
I played Flash because he looked cheap as shit. Without using projectiles.
I'll go ahead and knock this one out of the park for you right now. If you ever wanted to know what my basis for choosing a character is, you just heard it. There's no
attractiveness.
There's no thing going on upstairs. It's just they're cool or they're cute.
So which was Guile, cute or cool?
Both.
Both. So if Guile walked into your house right now and was like, I'll stay home and be your family man, would you hit him up?
I'd have to talk to Space Cake, and I probably wouldn't. I don't think that's gonna go over the way that it does in my head. No, you know what? I would leave him out in the cold because he sucks now.
Wow!
He's useless to me. And every time I play the character now, I'm just like, damn, this character is kind of honest now. Who would want to play this guy?
Wait a second. So hold up. They have to be cool, but they also have to be good.
Deep down, I mean, come on. Nobody wants to be with someone who's ugly and broke.
But Abigail mains in season 2.
He wasn't. He was broken, not broke.
But he was ugly as shit.
I don't know. I know some girls that think that Abigail's pretty cute. Honestly.
Nobody, as Heavy says, nobody wants to work hard. I mean, that's real talk. Nobody wants to work hard, to be fair. I mean, that's probably the most accurate thing I've heard somebody in an FGC chat say. That was the most honest thing.
Yeah, that's probably the only one you're going to see all week, now that I think about it.
I mean, what about Fang players?
Fuck Fang.
But he flies now.
Well, what about Fang?
But they work really hard to be a fair character.
People that play Fang are like that one friend that you think is really cool, but they've secretly been lying to you the entire last.
No, that's Volder. That's Voldo players.
But there's 2 of them. The Fang gang has it.
Whoa, Hemi. There's FGC people. Jesus. He's pretty good.
I played FGC Jesus in a set once. I played him long sets at KIT this year. Mm-hmm. And I actually looked at him and I was like, so do you have any lofty suggestions for how to deal with all the garbage you're throwing at me on the screen? And he basically just looked at me and he was like, don't get hit. This was casuals.
I hate that advice where people are like, yo, what can I do to not lose to you right now? And it's like, don't get hit. It's like, my dude, but beyond the obvious. That's like when somebody's like, yo, how could I have done better? It's like, not lose.
Yeah.
Revolutionary concept, Joe. I don't know if you've tried this yet at a tournament you've been at, but maybe if you try not losing, you might win a tournament. Revolutionary strat. Everybody, take this to the bank. The way to become a top tier player is just to not lose. In grand finals.
In the 3 years that I've been traveling for StreetFighter 5, I don't think I've ever once, taken that to heart and been like, that might be, she might be onto something. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if someone's going to tell me to just not get hit, then I'm going to tell them the reason they lost the tournament is that they chose not to win.
I mean, there is some truth to that. Even if you're like jerking someone's chain, is that like only you can really cause you to not win.
Oh, I mean,
So,
yeah. But like, let's call it as it is. Practical advice: telling somebody not to get hit is like
honest, brutally honest.
brutally honest, but not useful.
I mean, I don't know.
After I've seen some of your matchups with people when you play G. If someone honestly came to you and was like, "Hey, teach me the secret to not losing to G," would you hit them if they don't get hit?
You know, actually, I don't think I've ever done that to anyone.
See?
As much of a buzzkill as that sounds, I don't think I've ever once, like, told someone to sod off, like in the equivalent of discussing the matchup. I usually tell people, like, very sincerely, is that if you end up in the corner, you did something wrong. Which I guess is like kind of the same thing, but like honestly, G really forces you to play neutral, and unfortunately, sometimes your reward for playing neutral well is that he stops playing neutral. But that's a lot of the game. I think that's really strong this season. Like the meta right now is very rewarding towards characters that don't give a shit about your neutral.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, so like, here's the thing. So we have all these people right now that like you have these people that have like won't give up the dreams and the yesterdays of Street Fighter 4, and so they hate,
rest their souls.
Right? They're always in chat and they're like, man, this game sucks. When are we getting Street Fighter 4 again? 4 years later. And then we've got people who like are beholden to playing this game. They feel like they're just taking their medicine. You've got people who actually love the game. Like, where do you fall? Do you love Street Fighter V? Do you actually enjoy Street Fighter V, or do you play Street Fighter V because there's no other Street Fighter to play?
I play Street Fighter V because I like Street Fighter V. Honestly, I don't really go out of my way to find like that confirmation bias when I don't like something really. Mm-hmm. Unless it's something like, I don't know, like Rick and Morty or something. People like Rick and Morty are fucking weird.
Wow, we're just shots firing today. We're saying that Fang players and Voldo players aren't real people. You're calling Rick and Morty watchers like fucking savages.
You knew what you signed up for by bringing me on the show.
This is true, but you know what? I haven't done a show in a while, so I was like, yo, let's like have a nice like fun one. So,
candlelight dinner, some tea. Everyone's talking in really soft voices.
I got my birch beer here. I'm good.
But as far as where I fall, I don't really mind Street Fighter V. I can definitely say that when the beta came out, I was playing Street Fighter 4 at the time, and I've never been like crazy good at Street Fighter 4. I can play with like relative competence. I think I went like 2-2 or 3-2 at CEO Otaku last year when I played in their side tournament. Just play like basic bitch, Evil Ryu and Guile. I'm not trying hard or anything. Like just trying to get some grime out. But I can say that when I was playing Street Fighter 4 and the 5 beta was going, I was kind of like, this game's really different. But the more that I played it, the more I kind of realized that I liked it. There's a lot of quality of life things that I think people don't really appreciate about Street Fighter 5. Like, let's see here. The netcode's better, even though it's still kind of butt. That's a good
I mean, is there really a game with good netcode?
People say that MK11 has good netcode, but I feel like you don't get to experience it half the time because you keep getting people on Wi-Fi. Like, the game automatically tries to find you the person with the dog shittiest Wi-Fi possible. And I can tell you how good the netcode is because I never got a chance to truly test it. Because for some reason, all NRS players all play on Wi-Fi. No idea why. Couldn't tell you. It's a weird phenomenon. But I don't mind Street Fighter 5. I enjoy it. I think Street Fighter 4 is boring to watch in my mind. And I'm sure that there are people that are going to be like, let's fucking kill him! Like, right from the jump because I said that. But honestly, how many times can you see the same jab, jab, jab Tatsu, like, into super, or jab, sorry, low short, low short, jab, DP Fatsy into super. Like, it's the same shit. They're all, both sides of the camp are getting mad at each other for effectively the same thing with different clothes on.
I mean, so I'm gonna be a really honest person right now. I think 2D fighters are garbage, with the exception of Marvel.
That's fair.
So I'm a Soul Calibur player. Like, I've played it since I was a kid. I tore my ACL, so I like sat in my bedroom all day and played Soul Calibur because I had two games. I had two games for my Dreamcast: Soul Calibur and Sonic Adventure. And Sonic Adventure is ass. So,
but you could live off those two games for a year.
That's also true, and I did. But that was like the first fighter that like I went to an arcade and like was actually kind of nice at. Like, every other fighter, I would like beat up on my siblings, and then I would go to the arcade and I would like lose like $5 in 10 minutes, and then I'd have to like find my dad and be like, "Yo, so about them quarters." And my dad's like, "I gave you like $10. What happened?" I'm like, "Look, just don't ask questions. I promise I'm nice at this game. I'm just really bad right now." And my dad's like, "Go play some racing game or something." And I'm like, "What? No."
You're missing the point.
But like Soul Calibur, that was my shit. So then I tried to go back to 2D fighters, and I was like, man, what happened to sidestepping? Like, where'd the third dimension go?
We're both about the same age, I think. I definitely had my mall rat period, when I was a kid and skipping school and all that stuff. And this is back when Namco still had arcades stateside.
Ooh.
When they still had, like,
my arcade was we had a Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers. I don't think we ever had those out here.
Yeah, they're like a hot dog burger, like sit down restaurant type thing. Okay. And then they have like an arcade in the back, and some of them have some of them have like a small arcade, and then some of them have like a large actual like separate arcade. So like if I was really good that week, we would go to Fuddruckers on Saturday. And so it wasn't about getting the food, it was about my dad giving me like $10-15 in quarters, and like
it was about keeping your ass in line long enough to get what you wanted.
Basically, it was either go to Blockbuster or go to the arcade. Like those were the rewards for not being a shit for the week.
That's real. That's definitely real. We had Sega City.
Ooh.
This is a very long time ago. This was like, it may have just been, the turn of 2000.
Okay.
But we had Sega City, and then also before that, and this is when I was a little kid, we had Aladdin's Palace, Aladdin's Castle. I think it was Aladdin's Castle. I'm pretty sure. And then that turned into Time Out, and that was Namco owned.
Okay.
So I played a lot of Soul Calibur 2, like Soul Calibur 2. I did go through like the Soul Calibur 1, Dreamcast Legacy, like a friend of ours, a friend of our circle of people, had a Dreamcast before like everybody else did, and he was like one of the first people that we knew with the CD burner. So he had every Dreamcast.
Oh man, he was that kid.
So, yeah, so we just sit there, with the big green bastard sticks and play Soul Calibur 1 every Wednesday night. Like, it became a thing. Losing like countless quarters to the Soul Calibur 2 Conquest mode at the arcade was a real thing too.
Oh man, I forgot about that. But yeah, so
that
like
was the good shit.
So like when everyone talks about like fond memories of like Third Strike and like SF4, I'm sitting here being like, yeah, guys, that was great. Yeah, one frame links. You know that friend that like knows just enough about something that like as long as nobody grills them, they can pass for somebody that played.
Mm-hmm.
I just know enough words that I can just slide under the radar.
Knowing the lore is important. It's not an invalid thing. I mean, that means you've paid attention well enough to know like and understand what the actual talking points of the game were. And there are a lot of people that will talk about oh well, one frame links aren't that fucking bad, like, you know, and they've never done one in their fucking life, and
So they're like, oh, they obviously aren't that important.
these are the same people that if you sit them down, you know, in a dimly lit room, there's only one fucking door leaving out of the motherfucker,
And they have to one frame link to get out.
You like just put them in some shackles and hold like a gun to their family and be like, yo, do a taunt jet upper on your first try on Tekken 7, like, or your family fucking gets it. None of them will. None of them will.
Those are my dudes that are like, they're like, Korean backdash can't be that hard. And then you're like, all right, motherfucker, like, saw time. Like, you like, chain their legs to the cabinet, and you're like, each time that you, like, mess up the Korean backdash, like, you get pulled closer to the buzzsaw.
That's a paddling.
And then eventually, like, they have no ankles, because, like, they've been sawed off at the end of the cabinet.
They've been Korean backdashing wrong for 2 years already, and by this point, they're just up to their kneecaps and stubs.
Oh man, actually, you know what? This is a great segue, because you're somebody who works on sticks, or at least likes to work on their own sticks. What do you feel about the new hitbox?
I don't.
You have no feelings, actually, no opinions whatsoever.
You know, so since I work for Focus Attack, the arcade parts store. So it's kind of like my job to be up to snuff on, you know, what's cool and what's new and what the kids are doing nowadays, which rock band guitar is the best to play Blaze Blue with, and all that stuff. First of all, it doesn't do anything for me. And this is not to say that it's a bad product. It's the cross-up, right?
Yeah, the cross-up is the newest one.
Yeah, the cross-up. It doesn't do anything for me because I'm very traditional, like here. Like this is fine. It works great. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to be Jason Bourne levels of cool efficiency. Like, I still hit my buffers just fine for the most part. I'm gonna drop them just as much if I'm playing on a hitbox or, you know, a cross-up. One thing that I don't like, I think, knee-jerk reactions of outrage towards new, like, you know, new inventions or new innovations of what to play on as far as, you know, like, the game goes. I think it's wrong to just be like, nah, fuck that, let's ban this shit. I don't know what it is. I used to be it, and then they changed what it was. Now I'm not it, and I don't understand what it is. Like, that's what's happening. Like, I don't think it's fair to just, because you don't recognize something, it should be illegal. Like, I know there's still, like, a popular shitty discussion piece of, like, you know, hitboxes shouldn't be allowed for Tekken. I've seen people say that they've been shamed away from their locals before because they play on hitbox, like, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just, it seems foolish to me.
I think it's so weird because, like, ease of execution doesn't instantly make you a better player, right?
No, I know plenty of people with good execution that are absolute morons.
Yeah, but that's like the thing that I'm thinking of, right? Like, everyone's like, oh man, well, like, if you have a hitbox and your execution is easier, then, like, you're obviously have an unfair advantage to me because my execution is harder. But it's like, I think that the people that think that way, and I'll even call up pro players that have, like, that have, like, shared the sentiment. It's like, if you honestly think that the only reason you're good is because your execution is harder and therefore you're godlike at it, then, like, your understanding of, like, being good at a video game or just being good at anything is, like, grossly incorrect.
So StreetFighter 4 players?
Yes. I mean, but, like, because, like, think of it, like, so, like, for me, like, I have carpal tunnel in both wrists. So, like, a hitbox allows me to play, like actual video games, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't play with, like, a pad long term. It just, like, hurts.
I can't do it either. I've been typing for 20 years, you know, easily. I've been typing for a very long time with poor wrist posture and all that stuff. And yeah, pad play is, because I played Smash competitively for a short time before I got, like, super involved in trying to do stuff.
And learned what taking a shower was.
Yeah, of course. That's part of the reason I didn't belong. But I can see my follower count drop just from that one. That's fine. But no, just playing on pad, like for that alone, like I could just tell, like if I do this forever, my hands are gonna turn into dust. That's why I play on stick. I couldn't be a pad player even, on PS4 or Xbox really if I wanted to. Like I can play Gears 5. Like I have a Xbox controller right here. I can play for maybe like 2 hours, and then I'm like, I gotta take a break. Like, getting old sucks.
Yeah, guys, for all you youngins in the chat, because you're probably younger than me and Joe, because I'm 31 and he's 31 also, I think. Mm-hmm. Y'all have it easy. Y'all can use everything. Y'all can stay up late. Y'all can drink whatever you want. It's fine. Us old folks don't work that way.
I ate half a bag of high chews about a month ago.
Missing all the strawberry ones.
Yep. That's my wife. No, that destroyed my stomach. My stomach was not doing the digestive process properly for a fucking week. You can't do that anymore.
You know what's funny? When all of your friends who are 30 tell you that life is different when you hit 30, and you're like, nah, it's age is a number, and then you turn 30, and staying up past 11 is difficult, and drinking multiple beers in one night is the worst life choice you could ever make. I was like, what happened? I literally just turned 1 year older. Is there a switch in my body that just said no?
Yes. Yes, I'm a firm believer in that. No, the day that I turned 30, at midnight, I went to bed. I woke up the next day, and the moment that I got out of bed, both of my knees cracked, both of my elbows cracked, and my neck cracked all at the same time. I'm like, all right, I guess this is just my life now.
Yo, Spyro's calling us out and saying that we don't take care of our bodies.
I don't take care of my body. 100% right. I'm not even gonna front. Listen, I tried to go.
Did you try to join the FGC Fit train?
No, that's for those young kids, man. I'm simple. I want to go on a walk. I want to ride some bikes sometimes, every now and again. I tried going to a gym, 2-3 times a week to just go walk on the treadmill and watch TV for a half hour. I'd go early in the morning and I'd watch Trashbox while he played ranked on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And I've just fallen off from it. It's hard. It's like streaming. If you don't make a habit out of doing it every day, you won't do it. You just straight up won't do it. And unfortunately, there's no excuse for me. But to me, my life is hectic enough at this point that I'm just not worried about it. Just, feel like shit and go with it.
So, as an old man, you are at the prime age to run for presidency. And
it's 35, right?
You're close. You're close. Let me have my segue. You're at the prime age to run for presidency, and somehow this little-known streamer named NoGoodCitizen ended up on the ballot to represent r/StreetFighter for the North American Regional Finals. And I know you. You're like a pretty shy, humble dude. What made you actually want to campaign for it? Because you kind of went in. You weren't just all right, people nominated me, we'll see what happens. You actually hit the campaign trail to become our president.
There you are. Hi, what's up? Sorry, Space Cake's here.
Hey, what's up?
Anyway, so I don't think I even nominated myself. I think multiple people did.
I nominated you and Slim.
I decided that, if people are going to go out of their way for me to spend the time to actually try and get me on the board, why don't I just try and see how far I can go just for the sake of doing it? Because in my mind, I'm no one. I'm not Big Bird. I'm not Bon Chan. I'm not Punk. Idom. Name a few guys. Mm-hmm. Brian F. There are a lot of people out there right now. I think that people that are arguably better than me, that are much more well known. So I figured, what's the worst that can happen? I'll try it for a day, and we'll see where it goes. So I did. The first day I cut, a promo and went with it. I made, a couple social media posts, and I was like, whatever. If I make it to day 2, then I guess we'll keep trying. And I woke up the next morning and I was ahead, and like, what the hell? Like, I mean, because there are people on this list. Like, there was like QQ, Mike Too Strong,
Neon was on it.
Neon was on it. Princess Slim, Paximus, who else? There were a lot of really
Sriracha Flash, like people who
Sriracha Flash.
People who have gotten it before. I think there were definitely people who have like gotten the sponsorship before who were on it as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of strong people on there. So, and to me, in my mind, I didn't do it with the intent of winning at first. I did it with the intent of just like, I want to see how far I can go before I can't anymore. And it was kind of like the world's biggest say psych right now, and it lasted like 3 days. And,
so you were Trump. You were Trump. You were like, all right, I'll run to see what happens, and then like you won, and you're like, well, shit, I guess I'm here.
I guess I'll have to hold that. I got to like the end of day 3, and I was like, okay, why am I still winning? So before I knew it, I was kind of like emotionally invested in it, because I had never really. Yeah, I don't go out of my way to do like popularity contest shit. I've never done anything like that before. I've always been last pick on like the kickball team and at school and stuff like that. So like, why the hell would I start now? But maybe it's kind of like closely intertwined to like, I feel the same way about giveaways. I don't fucking win giveaways. Like, well, why would I enter? And I'm like 3 for 3 in the last year and a half or so of just going, I feel lucky today. Why not? Did it. I'm gonna enter, and I went. No idea why. Like, can't explain it. So I decided to kind of like do the same thing, and before I knew it, the competition was between me and Emazy, who's got the whole world at his fingertips as far as like his reach goes, because Mr. 1.5 million YouTube subs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do when you get 1.5 million subs? I feel like you've beaten the final boss of YouTube. I don't know what the fuck I would do with that. Like, if I got 1.5 million subs, I'd probably be okay with just being a hobo for the rest of my life. Sell all my shit, just live on the streets. Who's that guy? Oh, that's Greg. Don't bother him. He's had a hard life. He's been homeless for as long as we can remember, and just nobody knows. Nobody knows that I used to be the guy with 1.5 million YouTube subs.
But so like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, so like the thing I find interesting is that as long as I've known you, so like in the last 2 years, your drive to be a like actual road warrior competitive player has like waxed and waned.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And you're like, it's interesting that like now that you've like found G, you've kind of like hit this like consistent high.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you think that now that like the stars have aligned, right? You did really well at you had your best showing at Evo yet. You're doing really good. You have this opportunity to go to NA regional finals. Do you think that like this is the galaxy telling you to like just like actually stick with it now, or are you like meta dependent where like if anything happens to G, you might just like backslide again?
Well, a lot changed in between the time that I was hot and cold again with Guile, and the time that I started deciding to learn to play G seriously. One of the big things that changed was that one of the sponsors for our team, Tokyo Attack, amazing people by the way,
Mm-hmm.
started stepping in to like try and like support us and like help get us out to events more, because I've been doing most of this largely out of my own pocket. That was one thing that I think dramatically changed things. Like it wasn't so much that I didn't want to stay on,
Mm-hmm.
but now I have the ability to stay on more reliably. Like I have less to worry about in terms of like, how am I going to eat, where am I going to sleep, like, things like that. And like, I'm not, I'm not getting KBBQ with the homies after drowning in pools every major, I'm not posted up in the penthouse of the Marriott or anything, but I get where I need to go. This is something that I've really wanted to do for a while, but I realized probably about, I'd say probably about after G came out last year, that I just wasn't having fun with Guile anymore. I started to realize that there were things missing because of how overwhelmingly strong Guile was especially during like the height of season 3. How strong he was stunting my growth in terms of player creativity and the ability to work on myself just like as a player, because I don't want to say it like, because I'm just feeding into the argument of characters carry their player in a way sometimes they can't. And I saw what I felt like potentially, I think if I had kept going that way, I certainly don't think I'd be where I am now. But one day I got tired of just kind of spinning my wheels, and I was like, I'm gonna learn G. He's incredibly hard, incredibly difficult to grips with. I played charge characters for 10 years. Never played a motion character seriously in my life. But I said, I don't care how much I lose. I don't care how much time it takes. I don't care how many hard pills I gotta swallow. But I want to learn this character. I want to win with this character. It's important to me to win with this character. So I kind of like threw it all to the wind. I mean, there are some days where I'm just like, fuck this character. Like, why do I fucking try? But it's a lot less far, few, and in between compared to when I played Guile. Like, I think it really says something about the top tiers in this game when, although you could just be the person that goes straight to a character that is good and is top 5, then, competitive. Or you could shop around and try to see what other parts of the game are trying to present themselves to you, but you don't see them because you're only going down that one path. So, and that's the God's honest truth of G, is he bullshit? Oh yeah, like he's cheap. But the amount of work and effort and attention to detail that it takes to play him well, especially in he has polarizing matchups, they do exist. Am I going to tell you what they are? No, I'm not. But it takes work. You can't. He does not lend himself to people that just know how to do a couple things really well. Like, you have to do everything well, and the trade-off is that you get a really explosive character that makes for incredible Twitter content.
That's also very true. I mean, like, G wasn't really on. So, like, unlike when I saw the Abigail trailer, like, I remember being at Evo, seeing that Abigail trailer and being like, yo, like, this character's absurd, and I want everything to do with this character. Like, as big as the screen, fucking baby tosses people. Like, this is everything I want in the character. When I saw the G trailer, I was like, alright, like, we get Abraham Lincoln, the fighting game character? I guess that's cool.
When that trailer rolled, I was the loudest person in the stadium.
For G?
Oh yeah, I basically cried. Cause I mean,
so that was like Alex Myers and Sakura.
That was me. The moment that at the end of Capcom Cup 2017.
Yeah.
At the end of Capcom Cup 2017, when they revealed the season 3 trailer, and it's got like Sakura running in the jungle, and then Blanca joins up with her, and all that stuff.
I was so happy when they showed Blanca. Like, everybody else was like crying over Sakura, and I'm crying over Blanca. I'm like, yes, my cheapness is back.
When they showed G at the end, I immediately knew, like, because I'm a huge fan of the character Q from Third Strike. Like, I actually am really not a big Third Strike player, but I like playing Q. He's really fun to play. He makes me genuinely enjoy the game. And when I saw G, I just had this buzzing sensation in the back of my head. I'm like, this is gonna matter later. I'm not gonna say anything right now, but I have this feeling, and I can't quite get rid of it. And then the screenshot from the PlayStation Store leaked of the story costumes, and they showed like his Q inspired costume that he has. I'm like, that's fucking Q, but if he was cooler. I want that character. I don't even care how he plays. Like, people were like, "Oh, dude, he's the gorilla from Bloody Roar." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! You don't know what you're talking about. Shut your ass up. You have no idea what you're talking about." And then they finally revealed the trailer at Evo, and I screamed because like the what's the word? The identical mannerisms there, apart from the fact that G has like flourishes that Q doesn't. Just the behavior of the character, like he's got.
But this also takes place before Third Strike, so he could very well be Q.
Right, and even if he's not, at the very least, he is somehow related to Q. And I understood that what Capcom was trying to do was to show love to people who like Q. So
wait, there are people like you?
All three of us.
So more than the Voldo players. Got it.
Right. Like all three of us. It's me and Smug and Gustavo and Brian all under a Brooklyn bridge, cooking, smoking the rock. Like, we all know each other. But no, when I saw it, no, I genuinely, I wanted to cry because I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like, it is Q, except he's not bad. Like, and little did we know at the time, because we were like, hey, he seems all right. He seems pretty strong. And then fast forward 6 months later, and everybody's like, fuck this character. So, happy. Honestly, I could stick with him for the rest of Street Fighter V's lifespan, assuming that he doesn't get nerfed into the ground. Because Guile got nerfed pretty hard.
So do you feel like you could be like a Bonchan where you're just playing Nash until it's just functionally impossible anymore, but just with G?
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a lot of the other characters, I'd say Rashid and Birdie, where his character design is so strong that even when he gets nerfed, he's not going to be dead. Whereas with Guile, unfortunately, somehow they actually found a way to kill him. Despite what some people may say, Guile is not very good anymore. He's still got some good matchups, but unfortunately, he's just... and it's not even an issue of him being bad. But if you look back at Season 3 and 2 and 1, it's like, wow, this character sucks now. Rest in peace, Season 1 Ryu.
Don't bring back the bad memories.
Remember when Tokido was a Ryu player back in the day?
Oh man, I remember watching Daigo trying to play Ryu in Season 2.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember.
And then he realized that it was just not working, and then he started playing Guile, and then he made the Capcom Cup.
It was final round 2017, I think it was, when he lost to Tampa Bison. He put up a fight, but it was free. I think that was the point that he was kind of like, well, and this is not shade on Tampa Bison whatsoever, but he too is also not out here winning majors. But I think it was more of the fact that it was a wake up call for Daigo that I'm losing to the lesser of the big names in America now. It's time that I've done something about it. And Bison was still really strong, in Season 2. So that was an extremely polarizing matchup. I think Season 2 was the worst that Ryu's ever been. Compared to now?
What do you think? So, before I move it to non-fighting games and,
Sure.
potentially an AMA, what do you think... So, for characters like Guile, right? Or I guess more Ryu. Characters like Ryu... Fang, Alex, what is it missing for these characters to actually be playable? Or do you think that functionally a fighting game is just always going to have unplayable characters?
this is actually this is a good question. So the way I feel about Alex, and the way that I feel like about Alex and Vega, Fang too, I guess you could say potentially Kage. I
Mm-hmm.
think these characters are like two bad adjustments from destroying the rest of the cast. I think that as far as Street Fighter V goes in season 4, the balance is probably the best it's ever been outside of the top 5. And even then, like, outside of the top 5, I don't think that anyone is necessarily just a waste of a character slot. Like, even Vega, like,
Honda?
Honda's pretty good. I think he's solid mid. But the things that I think need to change with like the lower tiers is to understand what it is that makes like, because there's 38 characters in the game net right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call it even 40, whatever. I'm gonna be wrong on the. It's fine. I think it's important to recognize what makes the upper 20, serviceable versus like the bottom 20, like strong comeback factor, buttons that don't whiff for no reason, like when you're trying to convert, like Ed's low forward into his upper. It definitely rings a bell. I remember at the beginning of season 3, it was fine. They fixed it and then they rolled it back because I don't know, maybe they thought it was like too oppressive or something. But I remember that like in the beta, Vega was really oppressive. Like Claw was super oppressive. And I think what people don't realize as far as like the balancing goes is that Capcom has actually done a pretty good job of trying to keep things within the realm of believability. Like there isn't a single character in the cast that you can't look at and be like, all right, if the perfect storm of bullshit happened, at a major, this character might get into a top 8. Might, like an emphasis on might. But yeah, like little stuff like that. I don't think every character needs to have a 3 frame. I don't think every character needs to have a good walk speed or a strong backdash. But identifying the fact that like, each character probably needs at least like one of those things that makes the upper 20 like more, competitive,
Mm-hmm.
is probably a step in the right direction. But do it with intent to make it understand or make people understand why you made those changes and how they're supposed to complement, the toolkit that they already have. Like when they added donkey kick for Ryu, it was kind of like, I get it, but why? Like it just seemed like, they kind of shoved it in there. And it does have its purpose, but it seems like sometimes they make decisions and they're doing it less to even things out and make a more smooth, presentable, balanced game, and more to kind of maybe silence people that are complaining in a way. Like, kind of just like not really like a scorched earth mentality, but maybe like a passive aggressive kind of one in a way. Trying to think of something that would have been really, really like Manat's V trigger in season 3. Oh my god. That shit at 2 bars in V trigger 1. Are you fucking kidding me? This bitch gets I'm not sure if like maybe I'd had a couple drinks after drowning in pools that day, but I'm pretty sure I had seen a point where she got her V trigger 3 times in 1 round. And
I've definitely seen Justin at least get it twice.
Yeah,
in a round. Like easy.
Twice.
Like
yeah,
him, Sako, like that was one of the things I hate about the Manat mirror is that like you didn't see like it's alright to see a 2-bar V trigger happen like twice in a round. Cause like that's just the nature of like a 2-bar V trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're watching the mirror and you see 2 activations each.
Oh my god. And they're both just trying to mix the shit out of each other, and
you're
it's
just
like it's not fun for them. It's not fun for us. Nobody's having a good time. Like, and the answer to that was Capcom just shot the V trigger. Like they just like took it out back, and it's like 3 bars, Like, and what would have been maybe like a more serviceable decision would have been keep it 2 bars. Maybe don't let that shit build up so fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe just slow your roll a little bit. Because
No.
like now we have the same problem with Colleen's V trigger too.
Oh
Her V
god.
trigger too is
I feel
ridiculous.
I feel like she's I feel like V trigger, like any 2-bar V trigger, like I almost want it to be booty.
That's fair, because I mean you're getting V
Because so many
reversals.
characters are getting so much power out of like a 2-bar V trigger, and then you've got characters suffering at 3.
Yeah, I think Birdie's V trigger 2 is still 2 bars. No, it's 3 bars now. I
Mostly.
think. It's 3 bars. It used to be 2 bars. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That shit's OD. It's so good. Like, why was it 2? Just little stuff like that. But like, those are the kinds of things that going forward, like, you know, because every time that they make a change, they're affecting the meta. The meta's changing with every single little detail that they alter. Maybe like less scorched earth shit, and you know, let the little things, like the little adjustments all together, like all come into one big, you know, happy picture, and you know that way it's less jarring.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have characters just dying in the streets. Like Nash is dead. Ken is basically an online only character.
Yo, don't tell Sarah Blast that.
Oh, he's like he's the Bonchan
Of the Kens?
of Ken players. So he's the exception to the rule.
Oh, okay. Man.
So that's my take on it. I think the game is really good in terms of its balancing.
There's just like 5 characters that are just in the permanent dumpster.
Yeah. It's I think just the best thing they can do is not do scorched earth shit, and also reduce like how polarizing matchups are for people that aren't in the top 5.
Nope, I think that's fair.
That means Rashid. I'm blinking twice for Rashid.
But Rashid is a balanced character.
Oh, fuck that motherfucker.
Rashid,
Oh my God.
Karen's fair.
I honestly, I think Rashid is actually Rashid. And,
I think Rashid is like unbalanceable because of his kit.
I think Rashid and Akuma are the biggest problems in this game, right?
But I think that, so the thing is that like unless you like 100% like Nash them, right, where you just like cut them off at the knees, I don't think you can actually make them fair.
I don't think there's a single game in existence where Akuma's bad. Honestly,
He's like
I
kind of
really
booty in Tekken right now.
but people are still complaining. I mean,
Because
it's-
because the people who complain though are the people that forget they can sidestep.
That's fair. You know, all of a sudden they're just teleported into 2D land. It's just some strange.
Well, like
effect that
there's
happens
like
on
so
their
many
brains.
people like. I speak from experience as a 3D player that like you play so many people who like don't treat 3D fighters like they're 3D, and then when they finally face somebody that uses the like third dimension, they're just like, oh fuck, I
Whoa.
can sidestep. Holy shit. Right, this is Tekken and not Street Fighter. But it's true. Like, there are so many people that I think that complain about like Geeson and Akuma because they forget that sidestepping is a thing. And yes, there are aspects of Geeson Akuma that are just like unfucking fair. But guess what? That's like true of almost every DLC character in that game.
That's almost true of every fighting game.
Yeah.
The game's not there to be completely fair to you at any given time.
If you want a fair fighting game, play
Dive kick.
dive kick or
Play
footsies,
dive kick. Or footsies.
right?
The
If you
most
just
balanced fighting game.
right, if y'all want just like a straight up fair fighting game, play those 2 games. But if you play anything else, there's always some busted ass character. That's just how it works. Or you can play Guilty Gear, where like almost everybody's busted.
It brings great joy and equal sadness to my heart To know that in the year 2019 we can complain about V-trigger comebacks in Street Fighter 5, but no one will ever remember how Bison could just paint the fence in CVS 2.
What are you talking about? He's so balanced.
I'm just saying, we could go back to the dark times.
Don't you want to play against Sagat again? Don't you just?
Well, I play Super Turbo casually, mind you. Like I play it to a relative level of competence, and I can definitely say that there's not a single matchup in Street Fighter V that is as antagonistic and polarizing as some of the matchups that are in Super Turbo, where it's literally like, why would you do this? Like why? There is nothing to gain by putting these two characters together and being the person that's at a disadvantage. It's because like there are unwinnable matchups in Super Turbo unless like your opponent is asleep at the wheel.
This is also true. So I'm going to ask you some non-fighting game questions, but you don't get to think about them.
Okay.
So I heard from a little birdie that you kind of like anime.
Who?
I don't know. There's a giant JoJo poster behind you.
Oh, well, I mean, it covers up my walls that need to be painted.
Mm-hmm. So if I was to say, like, best anime of all time, your answer would be?
Let's see here. Let's just go with Space Adventure Cobra, I think would be the best.
Look at this.
Or
actual weeb status.
Alternate answer would be City Hunter.
City Hunter. Good choice.
City Hunter.
Amber, you don't have to call him out like this.
It's true, though. I do like old mothball-covered anime. The
all
thicker
right.
the dust, the better.
Best anime protagonist of all time.
Ooh.
And if your answer is not Yusuke Urameshi, then you're just, like, actually lying to yourself.
Kenshiro.
No! What?
Kenshiro. Kenshiro. Best anime protagonist free.
Chat, please tell him he's wrong.
I'm not wrong. There's not a single person that has the balls to disagree with me on this.
Amber, tell him he's wrong. I know you're in the chat. You just talked. Contradict him. She disagrees!
She lives with me. She's gonna disagree no matter what. She's like a shoo-in. It's not fair.
I said chat. She's part of the chat. I don't make the rules. That's just how it works.
My answer still stands. I still say
Kenshiro. All right.
Kenshiro.
All right. So here's gonna be the hard one. Best OP of all time.
Ooh. Yeah, that is tricky. Damn, that is actually. I don't even know if I have like multiple answers for that.
Nope, sorry, you can only have one.
Oh, you can only have one?
If you try to answer with two, I'm gonna take your JoJo poster.
That's tough. Best anime opener, huh?
If you try to give me two, I'm gonna tell Joe Monday to book you on Spirit.
Yeah, I don't want that. I flew Spirit on the way back from Evo for the rest of my life.
Amber says that it's the Demon Slayer OP is the best one.
The best anime opener is probably the original Hellsing opening.
I'll let you have that. I was gonna say Tank, but that's because I'm pretty basic.
No, I think Cowboy Bebop is criminally overrated, aside from the soundtrack. The nuclear take, I know.
Wow! Why do I have you on my show?
The soundtrack is the only thing that saves that series. I'm sorry. You can watch the last 4 episodes of that series, and you'll be just as fine as if you watched.
How did you marry this man? Yo, how did we vote for this man to be our president?
I'm sorry, man. There's better things that you can invest your time in that aren't. And I bet that you. Let me guess. English only, right?
So I will say this. I've watched both. It's like watching 2 different shows because the deliveries are very different. So it could, even though the script is basically the same, because the delivery is so different, you're effectively watching 2 different shows.
I can definitely agree with that. In fact, I agree with that in every sense of media. Not just necessarily Cowboy Bebop.
But Cowboy Bebop is like the most polarizingly different.
Okay. I could still agree with that for the most part.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
So like if I ever feel like watching it as more of like a comedy and more of a traditional 90s anime, then I want to watch it in Japanese. But if I wanted to have that like more space cowboy grit, then I watch it in English. Like if I want the like thinking man's Cowboy Bebop, then I want to watch the English.
Implying that Cowboy Bebop fans think at all. That's all right. The Real Folk Blues is a very revolutionary song. I think that's probably one of the best pieces of music to come out of anime in a very long time.
Okay, so then, wait, so if I ask you what's the worst anime of all time, is it Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Oh.
I fucking hate Shin-Chan.
Man, that's like not a risky take. That's like a pretty okay, I'm okay with that take.
I think that shit is incredibly obnoxious. I don't understand the humor. I think it's low effort, and I think that all anime like that should be abolished.
Ooh, wow, that's probably the most aggressive I've seen that take, but like I'm not mad about it.
I definitely understand that I'm in the minority when it comes to not liking Cowboy Bebop. My issues with it come from its pacing. I don't like the pacing of it. I feel like it could have been done in 10 episodes or less. Okay. Honestly, like it gets up into the 20s, and that's how I am as a person. Like when it comes to anime, in the last 15 years, every year that I turn another year older, I lose my tolerance for like one episode on a series. Like so, if my limit was 16 episodes, it's 15 now. Like, okay. So shit like Kill la Kill was 13 episodes, and honestly, that's one of those shows you can only watch it once. I'll never watch it again.
I love watching like the last 5 episodes over.
I will never watch that shit again. I watched Kill la Kill one time from start to finish, and it blew my fucking mind, and I never want that to change.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so we got 2 more questions. Best husbando.
In anime?
Yeah.
Best husbando in anime.
Chat, who is best husbando?
I had several wrong answers in my head for this already. Damn, that's tough. Oh, you asked some hard ass questions.
Yo, I mean that's why they pay me the big bucks for interviews.
Wolfwood, Trigun.
Ooh, that is almost close enough for my daddy status.
The Wolfwood for Trigun for sure, definitely for sure, especially because of
Kakyoin. Yo,
Kakyoin. I can't give JoJo characters not until the series becomes uncool to like again. It's too popular right now. We can't contribute any more energy to the force. We gotta take away from that a little bit. Unfortunately, you can enjoy it, and I might agree with you quietly, but I can't.
Quietly. Does he have a body pillow? Just blink once if it's yes.
We actually only have 2 body pillows, and it's Chun-Li and Cammy.
Good choices. Which now brings me to best waifu.
Best waifu. An anime, right?
An anime. Not in real life. We already know the real life answer.
That's tough. That's really tough. I want to say... See, this is the hard part for me, is because I'm such a on-again, off-again anime person. I have to remember
it's Sailor Jupiter, though. Like, it's not hard.
I have to remember what anime I like.
Chat,
honestly,
I know that Amber's been answering, but like, come on, I know you guys are weebs. You're all Joe's friends. Like, you definitely have a waifu choice.
Sailor Neptune. Free. Yeah, Sailor Neptune. Free. Fine. That's my final answer.
That's your final answer, Amber. Best waifu. It'll take a couple seconds.
Yeah, she is right. I do have a mini body pillow.
Is it like booty snake or is it just like regular snake?
It's just like regular, like boring snake.
Man, so what you're saying is that like I need to get you like America's ass snake, right?
He's topless. I had to look at my backpack for a second. He's topless.
I like how you were like normal, and then you had to think about it for a second, and immediate Amber's like, no, it's not a normal snake.
I like to be factual when I do these. I don't want to like give out false information. I know what I got. I think he's not a zonk knuckle job. My best friend has the mini version of her Cody body pillow.
No, you know what I should get you? I've been seeing this go around on Twitter. The stripper Terry Bogard pictures.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get you
the Terry memes.
I'm gonna get you the Thought Terry. I'm gonna get you a Thought Terry body pillow.
The Terry memes have been so good now that they announced that he was gonna be in Smash. Like it's just like it feels like they just revived everything. Like there's gonna be an endless supply of Terry memes.
Maybe I should make my technical difficulty screen just like Thought Terry doing rising tackle, like on a stripper pole.
You should, do that. Hell yeah.
Because like my current do I even have it? Is it even in this? Is it working? Oh, it is working. So this is the technical difficulty screen. Just an insert disc to, classic.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
I like that. That's really cool.
I wanted this like classic sort of like even though 80s video games didn't have like discs, I wanted like the classic 80s video game feel. That's why you have like all the vector stuff. And then I was like, yo, what would my technical difficulty screen be? And I was like, well, it's a fighting game show, so like maybe I can make like PS1 references. So I was like entering.
And the best part is that since you have the grid, it'll be really easy to line up the stripper pole.
Yeah.
That's math. Quick math.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. This is if you guys come next week for another episode of the Neutral Ball Z, you might get more ball. I apologize ahead of time. Joe is a terrible influence in my life.
Hey, I encourage the worst behavior in everyone.
It's fine.
Everyone. That's the name. No Good Citizen.
No Good Citizen. We're bringing it full circle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a pleasure having you on. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors you gotta give the propers to?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, quick shout outs. Definitely want to thank my wife, Space Cake Queen. None of this would have ever happened were it not for her. She pushes me to do everything that I possibly can in my own ability to be as best as I can be. I try my best to return the favor, but I hit most of the time. I miss sometimes. I wish that I could have the dedication into being constantly on my ass, like vice versa. I try to return the same spark. Not very good at it. Definite big shout outs to my team, the No Goods, the No Good Network, bunch of up and coming players that I'm trying to train to release out into the world so that they too can go troll people to death in various fighting games. Big shout out to the StreetFighter community, Joe Monday and Noga Remy, to name a few of the guys over there. That's a great thing that they're doing. Running the world's largest online weekly, unapologetically to the size of like some actual real event numbers every single week without fail, no hitches, no bullshit. You know what you're getting every time that you show up, and they do their best to include the people that haven't been included, in local scenes, or they don't have a local scene or something like that. Big shout out to the Combo Queens, a bunch of wonderful women over there. EXO Academy for sure. Who else? Shout out to my dad. I think he kind of understands what I do now, sort of. He's starting to get it. Just the other day when the voting closed, he's like, "Do you even know 1,000 people?" I'm like, "Yeah,
kind of."
Yeah, it's
no.
I think he's got a good idea of what's going on. Quick plugs. Definitely check out Raj of the Garage in December 13th to the 15th in Columbus, Ohio. It is a video game music rhythm gaming tournament, a 3-day event in which also now has a fighting game side run by me and a bunch of my teammates and a bunch of other cool people that we got on staff that are heavy tied to the FGC. We've got $500 pop bonuses for 3 games already. I think that's Tekken, MK11, and I don't remember what the other game is. I think Eunice. Yes, Eunice.
Sounds about right.
Every game that gets more than, I think, is either 50 or 64 people registered will get another $500 pop bonus. You can check that out at rajotg.com. Hopefully I can post it. Oh,
yep.
Wait. Am I not following you? What the hell? There we go. We fixed that. Done. Oh, I have to be a follower for 1 day to chat.
I fixed it.
Oh,
it's
no.
It's supposed to work.
Yeah, let me refresh the stream. That's probably my fault.
Oh, it's because it's in the old... Because, no, people are chatting. Amber didn't follow me until today.
Got it. I'm bad at Twitch. I get shit for this all the time.
That's good.
Because I spend so much time streaming and not enough time watching. So, like,
I'm the inverse. I like... The show was, like, my reason to get into streaming more. And now I'm doing... So, yeah, my guys, my shout-out, real quick, is that I'm going to do this little command. So, I'm streaming this month, and the reason why the neutral is back sooner than I originally planned is I'm streaming for something called Trans Lifeline. So Trans Lifeline is both the only crisis hotline in the United States specifically to help trans people. They also help trans people with affording their document changes. I'm able to afford my name change because of them. As the donate message says, raising even just $25 this month will connect one person to the hotline. So if you guys, you don't donate to me through Twitch, don't give me bits or anything because that gets locked up. And I gotta hit like $100 before I'll ever get it.
That gets Bezos.
So donate through that link, the link. That's where you should donate, or you can click on the Trans Heart October panel, and that'll also take you to it. But I have the goal of $250 so that I can connect 10 people to the hotline. But literally, if I raise $25 this month, that helps one more person, and that's all that matters to me. So
one is better than none.
Yeah. So. Thank you for the bits, people. Thank you for the new follows. I have no idea who's going to be on the show next week because I will be in Houston this weekend working for Red Bull doing the Conquest tour.
Fancy.
Maybe I'll just interview somebody there. Maybe get like Jimmy J Tran or something. I'll make him come out. Houston's not that far from Vegas, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not the guy to ask about geography.
I failed that class.
I'm just about as bad as Jibbo, who thought that Indiana and New Jersey were each other last week.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
but until next time, guys, you know how I do. Go beyond, plus ultra. Peace.
See you guys.